Toku Secrets is a podcast run by the Anime Secrets website. Check us out at animesecrets.org for more anime, video game, tokusatsu content. Remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts today.
Oh, yes. This is Goldar, and you're listening to Toku Secrets Podcast. Don't tune us out, tune us in.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Toku Secrets Podcast presented by animesecrets.org. I'm your host, Nathan Tessa, and today here at Rangerstop and Pop, we have the highest honor of interviewing the very lovely, the very beautiful, the very talented Tessa Rao. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
That was perfect. Tessa Rao. Yeah, that was really well done.
How are you doing today?
I am so good. I am slightly losing my voice because I may or may not have been talking loudly and singing very loudly over the last 2 days. No regrets. But apart from that, I'm feeling very, very good. I'm feeling very happy to be here. Super lucky to be here.
Yes, and we are lucky to have you here.
It's a pleasure.
So for those back home who, just got to Toku yesterday, Ms. Rao here, she plays the very lovely Izzy Garcia, the Green Dino Fury and later Green Cosmic Fury Ranger, which, as most of you guys know, if you watched our Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury podcast, you'll know that we're a super fan of the character of Izzy.
She's pretty cool. Like, even I think she's very cool. She's cooler than me. Like, I have to admit that. I get inspiration from her. I'm like, what would Izzy do in this moment? And then I do that. Most of the time, not always.
Can you relate to Izzy?
Some part, the tunnel vision. I always say, like, the fact that she kind of throws herself into something and just goes for it and can't necessarily see the bigger picture, is very me. I love sports, but I'm certainly not as into sports as Izzy is. I'm more of a Harvey, I would say, than I actually am in Izzy.
Like you're more into music,
yeah,
like
love
compared
music.
to Harvey?
Yeah, and like the arts, as opposed to like running track. No offense, love running track, but don't really love running track. So yeah, some similarities, some differences.
Yeah, well, not everybody is like 100% like their characters, so. Some
people are though. You do find some where you're like, that's just you, isn't it?
Exactly. So, what was your life like, like just a little bit like, getting into acting and how you ultimately got onto Power Rangers?
Yeah. I started singing first when I was very young, and that kind of transitioned into, like, I did lessons and exams and things like that, and then that moved into theatre, and I sort of fell in love with theatre and performing, and then I started auditioning for some film stuff, some film and TV things when I was a teenager. Decided I wanted to study after I graduated high school. I took some time, then I decided that I wanted to go, somewhere in tertiary education and study. And then COVID brought me back to New Zealand. I actually studied in LA, and then COVID brought me back to New Zealand. And I guess everything happens for a reason, because I don't know if I would have got the job had I been still overseas. I don't know if I would have been able to audition. So yeah, then I kind of just all of a sudden moved up from my hometown to Auckland, and I started filming the show, and the rest is history.
Well, yeah, then I guess that's one nice thing that came out of COVID, because we wouldn't have gotten you.
I feel a
your
little
amazing
guilty.
Performance.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really fun experience, and I feel I'm to be able to like come back as well. Like we did not take it for granted that we were able to come back for this sort of pocket of time. So yeah, feeling very, very lucky.
Yeah. Do you have any fond memories or like experiences you have with your cast? Because we saw you in your panel a couple of days ago. You guys just absolutely love each other.
Yeah,
so do you have any like particular memories you like to think back on?
There are so many. I think just like this weekend has reminded me of how lovely it is to just look around and see them around me. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like those moments where you kind of take a step back and be like, this is my life, and I get to call these people my people. Like I'm so fortunate for that. It's a really serious answer. There are also funny things, like definitely like silly things that happened and lots of laughing and stuff. But honestly, it's just a really wholesome feeling to be around them again. It reminds me of that feeling of like, oh, I love these guys. And anytime that you had a moment like that was like my favorite moment. Yeah.
So, your character, like among other Green Rangers, which by the way, we're standing by our claim that Izzy is one of the best Green Rangers of all time. But yes, the best. Thank you, Riz. Just said. Yeah,
comment.
I got it, Riz.
I'm just honored to even be considered in the bunch.
But your character was at least as far as I remember with like official like main series, like the first female Green Ranger. Like, how does
Yeah.
it feel to have that type of distinction from the other Greens?
It's really cool. I think it's just another beautiful step that we're moving towards kind of a more inclusive and honest representation of what the world looks like. And some girls like green, and some girls don't like skirts. And I think it's a really good thing that we are introducing the variety and the versatility of what people can be and who they can identify as, and for there to be able to be a girl that is green. So for all those young women and young men that wanted to be green but felt like they couldn't be, or want to be pink but felt like they couldn't be, you can be whatever color you want to be. That's the beauty of it. And I think it's a really good moment of the show itself, really like honoring that and proving that to everyone. So yeah, I think it was a great choice.
And it was a particularly awesome moment when you ripped the skirt off
That's
your shirt.
such a great moment. That's such a great moment. I'm about to get back into it, so I'm actually about to go do some in-suit photos. So I'll be getting back into it for the first time in a while, all suited up. I'm excited.
Yeah, and Riz and I will be for that photo op,
Yay!
so we're
Oh my
looking
god,
forward to
I'm
that.
so looking forward to it.
But another distinction that your character has, along with Jacqueline, was that at least as far as like open and official, like your characters were the first like big representation of LGBTQ community. In fact, like I don't know if you know this, but like Dino Fury won an award from like the GLAAD for like LGBT representation.
Yeah.
How does it feel to like be that first big representation of let's be honest, underrepresented community?
It's a long time coming. It should have happened before now, and I will stand by that. I don't think that I stand by that comment. But I'm honoured that it's me. I'm honoured to be a part of it, and that I'm so stoked and so proud to have Jackie as my partner in that. She's brilliant. I said it so many times. For some people, it might be boring, but representation is everything. The way that you see yourself on screen, whether you see yourself on screen, and how you see yourself on screen has an impact on your development, especially when you're young, but even as an adult. And that's an entire group of people that exist in this world that didn't see themselves in any character unless they placed themselves onto that person, and tried to find a way to fit. And so, to have this open, celebrated love that's not just like, look at the struggle of these two queer women, like it's, look at how much fun you can have when you find someone that you love, and the struggles that come out of just life and relationships in general, not necessarily because it's two people of the same sex or gender. So very cool.
And your moments were particularly powerful because Riz back there behind the camera, during one of your scenes with Jacqueline, when it actually came on, he actually teared up quite a bit during one of your scenes.
You?
So
the one, the scene where she becomes Orange Ranger.
Well, it's the scene where it's the episode where she finds out that you're a ranger, and you have that heartfelt moment before she gets on the bus.
That was all until the Cosmic Fury scene where I find out that Fern is a ranger. That was my favorite scene that I shot. Because it was just so vulnerable and so beautiful, and I love that kind of emotional moment. And I love how it turned out. I thought it turned out really well. And we had to
Very
film.
powerful.
We had to get a bus that wasn't a normal bus because we had to like flip it around because we were filming it in New Zealand, but it was an American bus, and so we had to like flip it and trick the screen to make it look like American. So it was a whole ordeal too. And then there's me and Jackie. They're like goodbye, and they're all behind the scenes like figuring out bus stuff. So it was also kind of a crazy day, but yeah.
Do you have, just to kind of wrap this up a little bit, do you have anything you want to say to the fans, like to the many people who look up to you?
I wouldn't have a job, I wouldn't have this life if it wasn't for you. So thank you. I feel very lucky to get to be here. I don't take it for granted. Like, there are a lot of people, I genuinely believe a lot of people that are more talented, more hardworking, just as, if not more deserving as I am of being in a position like this. And some of them haven't reached it yet because it's a really hard industry to find a foot into. And the only reason I have that foot is because of the years of dedication and love for this franchise and for the characters and for the story. And I'm just so grateful for that. So thank you. And I like to think that I made Izzy proud, and I hope I made you guys proud too.
You've definitely made us proud.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and we thank you so much for taking your taking time out of your busy
course.
schedule
That was
to come
awesome.
on here, because we're a huge fan of your work. You definitely, Dino Fury was already a pretty good season, but you definitely made it, you elevated
Me and
it to better
Chance,
levels.
Chance and I do have a certain edge together, I have to say.
Yes. So thank you so much.
Of course, thank you. It was awesome.